At Art of Skincare. She is our lead person in customer service. So many of you have been able to chat with her on the phone or chat with her via our chat on the website. She's a wonderful help for us. I grabbed her today because Hannah is our perfect example of someone who struggles with hormonal acne. So today our show is going to be on hormonal acne, how to treat it from the inside out. I'm going to be giving some special tips, and we're going to wait a couple more minutes for a few more people to come on to the show. We're also going to coax Stella. Go on, Stella. She wanted to be in the show. Stella is a Spanish water dog. We just herded her out. She's a herd dog. So I've got a couple more people on the show. If you're watching this show and you're on social media or you're on YouTube, follow the link and head on over to artofskincare.com. If you watch us there, you can join in the live conversation that we're going to have today. We're going to be talking about hormonal acne and tips and tricks for working with hormonal acne. Hormonal acne can be really tricky. One of the places that I always want to tell people you need to start is with Morgan, our acne specialist. You'll want to purchase an acne consultation. That's where you get to work with Morgan for 3 months, and she's going to go through and just make sure that everything is in alignment. She's going to make sure that you're not using acne-causing ingredients. She's going to take a look at your diet. She's going to take a look at your makeup and make sure that all your makeup is acne safe. And then she's going to dial in a routine for you that's really perfect for your skin. Now, once you're there and you're using the right products and all that, dealing with hormonal acne can still be a little bit tricky. And so there are some tips that I have that most clients find very helpful. So today I'm going to be doing a treatment while I talk with you on Hannah. Hannah is going to be getting married soon, so she's got the extra stress in her life of planning a wedding, which causes breakouts, along with hormonal acne going on. And with hormonal acne, you're generally going to see those breakouts in this area, and Hannah is classic for that. We know when she's under stress, she's going to pop out with some breakouts in this little area right here. Now, in her regular routine, she's using a Mandelic serum in the morning. Are you using it morning and night?
Yeah.
Mandelic serum morning and night, and then she uses an Acne Med, which is our benzoyl peroxide product, at nighttime. Now, Hannah's having a little bit of a flare-up because she was doing so well. She thought, I don't need to use my Mandelic. I don't need to use my Acne Med. Seeing her laughing. And it's so common to do that. Do not beat yourself up, Hannah, because everyone goes through that. What happens is a few weeks after you go off that or the next menstrual cycle, you're seeing more breakouts again. So it's super important to stay on your Mandelic acid and stay on your Acne Med, because that's what's preventing future breakouts. It's not just curing the ones that are on the surface, but it's also helping to go in and stop the ones underneath. Now, there's a lot more to acne though, as I'm alluding to. There's a lot more to hormonal acne than just the products that we use. So we want to make sure we're on the right products for our skin, on a good skincare routine, and we're really diligent with it. But we're also going to take a look at some internal factors that contribute to hormonal acne. Now, before we get started, I want to get going with with Hannah. So I'm going to put a tassie on you so you can go back to work today without your hair being all icky. Let's go ahead and pull this all the way down. We love these tassies. You could get these in our reward center. Let's pull it up. A lot of acne clients actually sleep in their tassies at night because a tassie keeps your hair up off of your face. It has this nice little pocket back here, and you can just tuck all your hair in there and sleep in a tassie. Have you ever slept in a tassie, Hannah?
Haven't.
You haven't tried that yet. Well, Hannah doesn't really break out on her forehead or her hairline, so I can understand why she hasn't tried sleeping in a tassie yet. Okay. Now I'm going to grab some cleanser, put some water in my bowl here, nice warm water. Today we're going to be using NeoGensisis acne program. Hannah, on your day-to-day basis, are you using Face Reality or NeoGensisis?
A little of both.
A little of both,
Yeah.
okay. So for today, let me pull my stuff over here. I'm going to be using the NeoGensisis cleanser. This treatment I'm going to be doing today is probably my favorite treatment for anybody who is experiencing dryness in their skin. And then we're going to boost it. We're going to boost it in such a way that it helps to clear the negative hormones out of the lymphatic system so that the skin is not being so affected by inflammation and hormones. So we're using NeoGensisis cleanser to get started. When you started back on your acne med, did you get a little dryness?
A little bit, yeah.
Yes. And that is really common. In your first few weeks of acne med, you're going to see some dryness on the skin. And that's when this facial is so wonderful, because the enzymes that I'm going to be using today really are gentle, yet they're strong enough that they digest away the dull, dry, flaky skin that you get when you're starting out on your acne routine. You can hear some noises from upstairs. Okay, sorry. Did she come back again? She's so funny. You can leave her there. Our Spanish water dog came back. Stella's back. Of course, she just wants to be where all the action is today. So I'm doing a nice 2-minute cleanse. This 2-minute cleanse is going to really break through that protective water barrier tension, the water tension on the skin, so that hydration can get into the skin. We also want to really make sure we're removing any makeup that might be on her skin so that we have a really nice, clean place to start. Her breakouts really aren't that bad, but she's such fair skin that, I don't know if you guys can see, let's lift her head a little bit, you can see through here. She has such fair skin that those red bumps really show, and so it really bothers her. Of course, I think breakouts just bother everybody, right? Mm-hmm. Nobody wants breakouts. But even though she got a little breakout, they're very different and nicer than before she was on her routine, because they're smaller, they're not so big, and they're healing faster, which is good. Now, a key element with hormonal acne is stress. So if we slow down here a little bit and nurture ourselves when we're cleansing, we see that as an opportunity to do some self-nurturing. Include some massage with it. Notice how good it feels while you're cleansing your face. All those things help your body to slow down and to release that dopamine that you need to really reduce the stress, that stress cycle that we can get caught up in. Okay, we're gonna rinse. If I don't fall off my chair, we'll rinse. Okay, grab a couple of these. I'm using a wipe from the Clean Skin Club. I've got it wet, so I can use it to remove the cleanser. Wonderful. So today we're going to be doing an enzyme. This is the NeoGensisis enzyme. Enzymes, for those of you who don't know, digest away that top layer of dead skin cells It's much gentler than using an acid, yet it's very effective for rehydrating the skin and for getting rid of that flaky skin that can build up on the surface. So let's grab our enzymes. Today we're using the NeoGensisis cream enzyme. And many of you have seen me use this enzyme before. This is the enzyme that I use when I'm doing a plastic wrap on the face. And I'll put a strip of plastic across here, strip of plastic here, and just leave the nose open. That is especially helpful if you have enlarged pores or you've got a lot of blackheads going on that you want to loosen up that impacted sebum in the skin. Hannah does not have that. She's a little more sensitive skinned. She does not even look like she has a pore on her nose. She's very small pores, drier skin, which can just be so typical for hormonal acne, to have sensitivity and drier skin. So when we treat hormonal acne, or when we treat dry, more sensitive skin, we treat it carefully. And we're really conscious of what products we choose to use for you guys. And Morgan, our acne specialist, she herself has inflamed acne, and she has very sensitive skin. And she is excellent. She's just excellent for working with you guys who have hormonal acne. Okay, so while we have this on her skin, let's talk some more about hormonal acne. So a big part of hormonal acne is that we store negative estrogens. We store those negative hormones in our liver, and they get backed up in our lymphatic system and in the interstitial fluid that flows between our lymphatic system and our fascia. So it's very important for us to have a healthy liver, healthy lymphatic system and movement, and healthy fascia movement, so that we're moving all of those negative hormones out of the skin. That's what we call detoxifying the skin, or detoxifying the body. So some things that you can do to help detoxify your body and reduce the amount of negative hormones in your system. And one of the top things that I recommend to people is going on a low FODMAP diet. You can actually look this up on Google. A low FODMAP diet is a diet that is anti-inflammatory. It takes all those inflammatory type foods out of your diet. You're going to be eliminating seed oils. You're going to eliminate a lot of dairy products, processed foods, wheat, gluten, all of those things. Extracting those from your diet helps your body to work with and process those negative hormones much easier, and it reduces the amount of inflammation that you have going on in the skin. It's pretty common in the olden days, I would say, in my acne practice, going back 15 years, even 10 years, one of the top things that we learned was with our acne clients who just get breakouts with their period, we would tell them 3 to 5 days before your period, cut out all dairy products. And then also the first 2 or 3 days of your period. And what we had when we started doing that, we started seeing clients who would not break out at all with their period. And then what happened from that is we kind of grew from that and really saw it as an opportunity for our clients to feel empowered. So, when we have PMS, we crave things. I'm an ice cream craver. And so you can make that choice. If you use your cell phone, track your periods, know when they're coming, and if you know your period's coming in 3 to 5 days and you're craving cheese or you're craving ice cream, you can make a choice. Sometimes you might say, you know what, I don't care. I'll take a few breakouts. I just want to eat my ice cream and that's it. And that's okay. That's an empowering choice to make. Or you can say, no, I've got an important event coming up. I have things I need to do that I don't want to have a breakout. So I'm going to be strict this month and I'm not going to eat those products. So eliminating those is very helpful. There's kind of twofold things that happen with the dairy products. Is one, they're inflammatory. Number two is that there's a lot of hormones in cow milk. Our cows are treated with a lot of hormones that travels through their milk, comes into us, and it creates those negative hormone buildup. It contributes to that negative hormone buildup in our body and really intensifies it during that week that we are on our period. So great reasons to eliminate dairy. Now, another important thing that we have found with treating acne is that you need to have a healthy gut. So many of you have heard this, having a healthy gut means you need to eat fermented foods, you need to eat things that have good probiotics in them. You can take a probiotic supplement. And many people think, well, I'm going to keep eating yogurt because that's going to keep feeding the good probiotics in my system. The problem is you've got to be very careful. And many yogurts are loaded with sugar, and sugar is a huge inflammatory ingredient. So I have many clients who have experimented with using A2 milk and A2 brain flush kefir. A2 kefir, and don't drink a lot of it, but just take a tablespoon a day of that A2 milk kefir, and that's going to really help create that lactose that you need and the lactase that you need, and it's going to help create that healthy gut bacteria that you want to have in your body. Some other things you can do is add kimchi into your diet, add sauerkraut into your diet. You can make a fermented drink with beets that a lot of people like to have. All of those kind of things are going to help build up that healthy gut bacteria in your body. We do have a supplement at Artist Skincare. It's from Hum. It's called Skin Squad. Skin Squad is a prebiotic, which is very helpful, and that will go in and help to build up that good flora in your body. Are you taking any of the Hum?
I have the probiotic.
You have the probiotic one.
The NAC as well.
And which one?
The NAC.
Oh, NAC. So NAC. We will talk about NAC really soon. So taking good probiotics can be very helpful for this. Now, there's also some supplements and things you can do to support your liver and support your lymphatic system to remove the negative hormones in the body. So let's talk about Live Detox and Wingman. Live Detox is a supplement we have on our website. This Live Detox helps to eliminate those negative hormones in your body. When you start on Live Detox, you need to start slow. Most people. You're just going to start with one a day and drink lots of water. If you notice that you get a little headache, that's okay. It's letting you know that, yeah, you have some buildup. Those negative hormones, we need to flush those out. So do lots of walking each day and drink lots of water to help move that through. The other supplement that we have that's a little gentler that you might start with is Wingman. Wingman is from Hum, and it also helps to detoxify and support the liver in that process. Now, another product that helps support the liver, but I want to talk about it in a little different way too, is that many people who have PCOS suffer with acne in this area. That's hormonal acne. One supplement that we have found that's super helpful for PCOS is from Consultations, and it's called NAC. If you go to our website, it's linked to some articles, and you can read some different studies on it, on how helpful NAC is for so many things. It's helpful for your lungs, it's helpful for your liver, it's helpful for your hormonal system, your ovaries, brain. Just, you have to go in there and read about NAC. It's really a vital nutrient. It's something that Hannah is taking and can just be super helpful for people who are struggling with PCOS. Let's see. Got skin swatch here. Now we've got the enzyme on her skin. Hannah, I didn't check in with you. This wasn't very nice of me. How's it feeling? Is it hot?
No, it feels good.
It feels good? Good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to place a little bit of I'm going to take her clean skin cloth, and I want to just intensify a little bit of the exfoliation around her chin area. That's where she's using more of her acne meds, so it can get a little bit drier. So I'm putting that on there, and what I'm going to do now is something that's super relaxing, and I know it's going to feel so good for her, and that is I'm going to use a warm steam towel. Make sure it's not too hot. How's that temperature? Good. And I'm going to do some kitty massage. Just going to take a deep breath. Nice. She's so good at relaxing. All right, I'm going to pull this up here. And I'm just going to let this cloth set on her skin until it gets cool. Once it's cool, then I'm going to use it to remove the enzymes on her skin. Hannah, are the enzymes still feeling comfortable?
Yeah.
Great, good. Now, if the enzymes are feeling really hot or too super active, that would let me know that her skin is just more sensitized right now. And if so, this is still a good treatment, but I would remove it sooner. And I might not put a warm steam towel on there. I might just use cool compresses to remove the enzyme. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to be doing today is we're going to be using the Triwave. Grab it for you. The Triwave has 3 different microcurrent waveforms. 2 of the waveforms are fantastic for acne. And those waveforms are the Rejuve and the Erase. Erase is going to get her fascia releasing and movement going in her fascia. And then Rejuve is going to work on her lymphatic system. So the lymphatic system and the fascia have to work together because the lymphatic system we want to stimulate it to constrict and release those toxins and negative things. And then we want the fascia to be able to do its movement and not be like crystallized and stuck and frozen. We want it to be able to do its movement so that it can flush that through the system. So when I do this treatment for her, we're going to be using a sheet mask because the sheet mask is the most ultimate relaxing, stress-releasing way to use this device, which will be perfect for Hannah. And we're going to use the Erase mode, and then we're going to use the lymphatic mode. And then some people like to even finish up with a little more Erase mode at the end. So what we're doing is with Erase, we are getting that fascia, the crystals in the fascia released. We're getting the fascia softened up. We're erasing that tension in the fascia. And then we're going to go after it with Rejuve. We're doing Rejuve. We're going to stimulate the lymphatic system and nurture the lymphatic system. And then if we go back in with a little more of the Erase, it's going to help to clear out anything that we have released from the lymphatic system. So my clients who use this device for hormonal acne find that within 30 days, they are experiencing much fewer breakouts. The skin really learns how to detoxify itself. We're getting rid of the crystals and the fascia so everything flows better and the skin is much healthier. So now we're going to remove the enzyme so we can get started on our microcurrent treatment. It's also nice when you're going to do a microcurrent treatment, it's nice to do an enzyme beforehand because your skin will be more receptive to the microcurrent. Do we have any questions coming in, Lauren?
We do.
I can answer a question while I'm removing.
Yes. How often would you use the NeoGensisis enzyme cream mask?
Once a week.
Okay, perfect.
Once a week. And even if you're not an acne client, but you're using NeoGensisis, everybody using NeoGensisis needs to use that enzyme once a week. That's how you're going to keep making sure that your good ingredients from NeoGensisis are able to penetrate and get into the skin. People who don't see fast enough results from the NeoGensisis product, it's because they're not getting the exfoliation that they need. So use that enzyme mask once a week.
Perfect. And then, have you had clients go through IVF? And if so, how did their skin do? This client gets hormonal acne, and she's terrified of what it will do to her skin.
Is Morgan, do we have Morgan on today?
We do have Morgan on today.
Morgan, can you answer that question? Morgan works with all of our acne clients nowadays. I am not in the treatment room and I'm not doing the acne consultations anymore, but Morgan has been doing them for more than 5 years now. Oh my goodness.
I think 7 or 8 years.
7 or 8 years. Morgan, we've been together for so long. I've known Morgan since she was 3. But she's worked with me since she got out of high school and got her aesthetic license. And so she is phenomenal. She's an expert in this field. So let's let Morgan pipe in and see if she's worked with anyone doing IVF or not. Because I haven't, personally.
Let's see here. And should you do a mask before every microcurrent treatment?
Not always. Not always. I mean, if you're doing microcurrent a couple times a week, the most important thing is to do it at least once a week before you do your microcurrent treatment, especially if you're doing a longer treatment. I do a sheet mask. I do the sheet mask routine. I just love it. It's the same one we're going to be doing today. And I do that once a week, and I always do my enzyme before I do my treatment. But on other days when I'm just doing a little eye lift or things like that, or I want to work a little bit on my neck or this area, and I'm using my probes or my Onma, I may not do a sheet mask when I'm doing my quickie treatments. Okay, so we're going to put on some recovery serum. Many of our acne clients use NeoGensisis skin serum, and skin serum is excellent. I highly recommend this as your hydrating serum. The stem cell cytokines in this are really going to speed up the healing of your skin. For Hannah, because we're treating this area that's got some red spots, we want to prevent that hyperpigmentation and everything, I'm going to use some recovery serum, which is just a bit stronger and it's not hydrating. So I'm going to put a bit of recovery serum in this area, and then I'm going to put her skin serum on everywhere else. I'm also going to be using a little bit of our mandelic acid. I'm actually going to layer it in between recovery and skin serum. And I'm only going to use the mandelic acid on her breakout area. Now, because she is very used to using mandelic acid, it's not brand new to her, we know her skin handles it really well, I'm going to do it before I do my microcurrent treatment. It'll be okay for her. But if she was brand new to this and just getting started on a routine, I probably would not put a corrective on under her sheet mask. But, so we always start with recovery. And this is the spray recovery. I love this one. Just gonna spray that on. We always need to run the eyes too, right? We've got plenty now. We probably needed 1 squirt, and I did 3. I was generous. Okay, let that dry a little bit. And then layer 2 is her mandelic 8% serum. Just 1 pump is all you need. And I'm going to check with her. Hannah, is there any burning or stingling?
No, it feels perfect.
Tingling? Did you ever, when you first started mandelic serum, get burning or tingling?
No.
No, you've always been good with it. So what we tell our acne clients is when you're starting out on a new corrective serum, corrective serums are those active serums that contain mandelic acid or salicylic acid or glycolic acid. When we start you on those, it's very common for those to tingle or what we call stingle. As long as the tingling stops after 2 minutes, then you're okay. But if you put it on and it's still stingling 2 minutes later and perhaps even intensifying and starting to get hot, that's an indication that you should wipe it off with a cool cloth and reach out to Morgan or your acne specialist and let them know that you're having a reaction, that your skin is just sensitive to it right now. And when that happens, what we do is we get creative. And we might switch the acid that you're using, or we might have you mix it with your moisturizer to give you a little bit of buffer as your skin gets used to that corrective treatment. Okay, so now I'm going to grab my skin serum. Uh-oh, I dropped this one. This is what happens when you drop the bottle, but I think it still works. Let's find out. If it doesn't still work, then I go like this. I traveled with this and I dropped it today on the way here. So I left the cap off, I just push it down and it squirts it right into my hand. So that's what we do when we're towards the end and we've dropped our bottle. Here we go. What is your usual hydrating serum, Hannah?
The Neo moisturizer.
The moisturizer. And do you use the skin serum at all?
I used to, but I need to repurchase it.
Okay. And which moisturizer do you like from NeoGensisis?
I like the Intense.
Intensive. I love that one too. And that one does have the stem cell cytokines in it. It's mixed in with your moisturizer, so it's not going to be as strong as this, but it's still really excellent for you. Okay, so now we're going to use an Orgade sheet mask. I love this one that's got the Greek yogurt in it because this is going to work on the good bacteria on her skin so that she has a good, healthy microbiome on the surface of her skin. Okay, Hannah, this is going to feel a little cold and slimy.
Okay.
Now we want to treat lips because lips are always so important. We're going to make sure and get right up here on our lips. Pull it up there. There we go. Ooh, this mask fits your face really well. Everybody's face is different, so don't be afraid if your face doesn't work well, because mine doesn't work well with a sheet mask. So I come in here and I often cut a little bit or even rip with my fingers a little bit on this nose flap to make this all lay down flatter. You can do that. Just make sure you don't completely detach it. We want to be our mask is going to be conducting that microcurrent. Beautiful. Now we've got some extra serum in here. So we're going to apply that to her chest and her neck. And pat it onto her mask too. And then I'm going to take a little bit of NeoGensisis Glide. I am. Where did I put it? Let me grab it really quick. I left it over here. Here it is. I left it on my desk. So, NeoGensisis Glide. I'm going to put this on her chest right here just to buffer so it'll feel more comfortable and relaxing where I'm going to put her electrode. So I've got my Myolift all preloaded here. You can see I have some masks. So I'm going to show you guys what I do here. I've got one end's connected to a rectangular shape. I'm going to put my rectangular shape right here on her chest. And then I'm going to take the round one that I connected to, and I'm going to put that right up here on her forehead. Then I'm going to turn on my device, and I'm going to push erase twice, and that's going to take it to level 2. And then I'm going to check with her once I turn it on. How does that feel?
It feels okay.
Are you feeling any tingling or twitching or just a little bit active?
A little active on the chest, but it feels okay.
But it's okay, it's not too uncomfortable. Okay. All right, so we're gonna leave that on there. We're gonna do 5 minutes of erase, then we'll do 10 minutes on rejuve, and then we'll do another 5 minutes on erase again. Now, the benefits of microcurrent for acne in particular. One of the things that microcurrent does is it actually speeds up your cell renewal. So when you treat wounded tissue, and if you don't treat it with microcurrent, you go, let's say 23 days, and you measure how many new cells have been formed in that healing process, in 23 days, you'll have so many, but if you're using microcurrent, half that amount of time, in 13 days, you'll have that same amount of healing. So that means it's really speeding up the healing process. So when we talk about PIH, which is that hyperpigmentation, that leftover red spot that you can get under the skin, that red spot is blood flow to the area. And a lot of people think, oh, I need to put something on to bleach that. You cannot bleach that red spot. It's blood flow to the area because there's still healing going on. So when we use microcurrent like this, and we're doing it once a week to treat this area, then you're gonna see that healing happen faster. Normally it takes 9 months for that red spot to dissipate and go away, for all those deeper tissues to be healed. So imagine using this device and using it regularly, you're gonna see that twice as fast. We also are seeing that clients using this are not getting as much hyperpigmentation. So first you get the red spot, and it takes 9 months for that to go away, but because that skin is baby skin, it's so sensitive there, your body's trying to protect it, it's gonna create extra pigmentation so that pink spot can then, or red spot can then become a brown spot. So we're seeing much less of that happening when we're using microcurrent to help speed up the healing of this area. So there's kind of 2 things that we're doing to speed healing and really support the healing of these tissues. And one is using the NeoGensisis, the stem cell cytokines. That also really speeds up the healing of the skin. And then adding in the microcurrent, that's also speeding it up. Now, a lot of people don't realize that in your lymphatic system is where we have hormones in there, we have hyaluronic acid, we have collagen, we have fibroblasts. A lot happens in your lymphatic system and in your fascia. All those things in the interstitial fluid is where you find the fibroblasts, the hormones, the hyaluronic acid, all of that. Those are all building blocks that contribute to healthy skin, whether we're talking about aging or we're talking about acne. So by using this device, using the Triwave, and getting in there and stimulating, supporting your lymphatic system, supporting the fascia, we are doing some of the best work that you can possibly do to from the inside out to really support healthy, beautiful skin. When we finish this treatment, we are now then going to pull the LightStim. And because we might run out of time, as we might still be on by the time we answer questions. I'm going to keep her going. I want to do her full 20 minutes. But once I finish with this, I'm going to grab the LightStim, and I'm going to be using the LightStim on her face. I'm going to be using the red LED because the red LED is anti-inflammatory, and which is the kind of acne she has, is an inflammatory acne, and is anti-inflammatory, also very healing. So we're going to use this afterwards, and this is something that I have Hannah use every day, a minimum of 5 days a week, to really support that healing. Now in NASA, this was developed for the astronauts because they found that red LED really speeds up the healing process, which can be a real problem in space. So using it in space is great, using it here on Earth is even better, and using it, but you've got to use it a minimum of 5 days a week to see that progress. Now there's a lot of LED devices out there on the market. Most of them are battery operated. So when you use a battery operated LED device, it's a nice little home unit, but it's not as strong as a professional unit. This unit plugs into the wall, does not run on battery, it's very strong. You can use this. We just do maybe 10 minutes over the face, moving it around, and you're good. If you're using one of those other masks that's battery operated, it's laying on your face in a mask shape, honestly, you've got to use that for about 10 hours in order to get the same benefits that you would get from using this one for 7 minutes. So using this one's very important. There's also a number of bulbs on here. There's a recent one that Celine was telling me about. She's our online acne expert who works with you guys in these live chats. She pointed out to me that there's a device that's super popular in social media right now that's one bulb. And so you hold it on one pimple at a time. That sounds really tedious, and I don't even know if it plugs in or runs on battery. It probably runs on battery. It's probably not strong enough to make that much of a difference. But this, you can treat a whole area at a time rather than just one pimple here and one pimple there. So if you have any questions about LED, this is a good time to ask. We also have blue LED from LightStim. You should choose blue LED if you have oilier skin or you have a lot of inflamed acne, because the blue light is going to balance oil production. It's also going to be more aggressive towards bacteria that spreads if you've got a lot of pustules and things going on. Most hormonal acne is more related to inflammation, and so the red is what you want to choose for hormonal acne like this. If you have more inflamed, aggravated acne, use the blue. The blue has a little bit of red mixed into it, so it's also going to help with inflammation. But that's the way to choose. If you have a question, you're not sure which one should I get, just reach out to Hannah at Our Skincare in our live chat, and she will be able to help you choose the right device for the type of acne that you have. All right, questions?
Yes. When starting red or blue light therapy, is it common for clients to purge?
Morgan can jump in here, but I have not seen purging from using LED. However, keep in mind that any of these things, when we're speeding up that skin metabolism, if your skin been stressed out, locked down, nothing's moving, lymphatic's not moving, fascia's not moving. If we start releasing that so that everything's moving, you could see some breakouts happen from that because stuff is starting to get released and get moving through. However, most often when we see purging happening, it's because you're using acne-causing makeup. So you've got a lot of congestion under the skin, and we call that acne cosmetica. That has to come up and out. It can't just dissolve under the skin and go away. So sad. I wish we could just dissolve it. But we do things in our acne program that help speed up that kind of what we call, if you want to call it, purging process. That'll help dry that up and clear that out faster. Acne Med is excellent for doing that. The other time we'll see some kind of like purging or breakouts coming on is after somebody's been on antibiotics. A few weeks ago, we did a session with Celine. I showed you how she was really breaking out from being on her antibiotics. And she's even right now, I mean, she's starting to clear out, but even around her lymphatics. I wish I could show you guys the diagram today, but you've got a lot of lymphatics in this area, under here, and going down the neck through this area. You can actually feel larger lymph glands here when they are swollen and they're fighting an infection. So right now she's got some rather hard little red bumps coming up to the surface right on her lymphatic area. And so it's really important for us to keep supporting her lymphatic system with the Triwave to keep that coming out, keep that moving, and get things going. That was a long answer for that question. Now what I'm going to do right here is, and she could do this for herself if she were doing this treatment, I'm going to spray some moisturizing mist on her neck, and I'm just going to do a little massage while she has this on when I switch over to lymphatic drainage. And the massage is going to go a movement going back this way and then draining down towards her collarbones. And this is just going to, and I might even do a little bit of movement here, pushing it back this way, and then pushing it down. And just using my hands along with the microcurrent to really help stimulate the release of her lymphatics. Let me see what our time is, if I can switch her over now. She's been on, yes, we're good to switch over. So now I'm gonna press Rejuve. Just button over here, I'm gonna push it 2 times. And that takes her to level 2 on Rejuve. How does that feel?
Feels good,
Still
yeah.
good, okay. Now, when I don't use level 2 is when we do Educate. Educate is a really intense waveform, and usually we just do level 1 on that, because level 2 is not that comfortable. Also, you'll see on Educate, you'll see the light, the electricity hitting on the bone on your forehead, and you'll see some little light flashing, which is really interesting. Okay, so we're gonna use the moisturizing mist, just so I have some slip. And I'm just gonna do some nice little movements in here while we talk. Do we have another question, Lauren?
We do. This one's an interesting one. Is blue light therapy better for acne than an ultrasonic spatula like the Skin Perfector? This person deals with oily skin and cystic acne.
Okay, so yes, absolutely. LED is a preferred modality for you. You don't want to use a skin spatula on cystic acne. And think of your skin spatula is more about cleaning the pores and removing dead skin cells on the surface. The skin spatula is not about penetrating the skin and stimulate collagen, stimulating healing, and all of that. The skin spatula is a cleansing tool. So you can use that around your nose area or anywhere that you don't have cystic acne. You don't want to use that device on your active acne blemishes.
And do you often use the LightStim and the Triwave together? Barb is wanting to start with making an investment into one tool.
Okay.
So if you were to choose one for her, which would be your choice?
I want to know from you, Barb, what is your age? And I want to know if you know which kind of acne you have. So if you could tell Lauren in your chat where you break out at, how many breakouts that you have at a time. I want to know if you're more, a hormonal girl who just breaks out on the monthly, or if you constantly have inflamed pustules over your face. So let me know the answer to those questions, and then I will give you an answer on that question.
And I'm pinging Morgan on this one, but with you as well, when would you consider your client to be clear? Like, so let's say they've been on acne med for a little while. When would you say that they could get off of it?
So usually we say a full year of staying clear, but staying clear doesn't mean you never have a blemish again. I mean, even people who don't have acne get the occasional blemish from stress and things like that. But what we're looking for is to go 1 year with just having really minimal breakouts happening, and then we might switch you from acne med to a different kind of support product. That, especially if the acne med's giving you a little dryness. Now be aware that Laura Cooksey, who developed Face Reality, used that acne med for 20 plus years. She has beautiful skin. So it's not a problem if you need to stay on acne med a bit longer, because that acne med is what's really preventing those future breakouts.
Perfect. And Barb got back.
Oh, good.
So Barb says that she is 51 and she thinks that she has hormonal acne.
Okay, so Barb, what I recommend for you to start with is the Triwave. The Triwave is going to really address, in our 50s, everything starts slowing down. I mean, it's a big thing that we fight as we age is stagnation. So one of the big reasons we get that hormonal breakouts and all of that going on when we're pre-menopause and menopausal is because everything is just slowing down. The Triwave is going to get your skin acting and behaving younger. It's going to stimulate the lymphatic movement. It's going to stimulate the fascia to be healthier. Which will then in turn create better hydration because hyaluronic acid is going to be moving better through your skin. It's going to stimulate the fibroblasts so that you have more healing going on and also more cell regeneration more collagen production. So all in all, the Triwave is going to be your best friend, and you can do those treatments like this once a week with a little longer treatment like this. And then as you are getting more breakout free, you can also grow with your Triwave because in your 50s, the closer you get to 60, the more you're going to want to do some little touch-up areas with the Educate setting. So you can work on some of the tension or firmness around this area, the neck, and around the eye area as well. So all around, it's just going to be, it's a little more investment, but it's going to grow with you and be more versatile for you in the long run.
And I'm going to try to decipher this one best as I can. But so Sarah says if she's never had acne and she's 60, should she be addressing her skin as a dry skin type?
Only if it's dry. So generally as we age and we get menopausal and postmenopausal, one of the symptoms of that hormone change is that we have drier skin. So in general, in that age group, I'm 60 myself, and what we have to do is we have to generally start using a little heavier moisturizers, but still moisturizers that allow your skin to breathe. And we need to step up our exfoliation. So picking up a nice enzyme mask, such as the NeoGensisis. Oh, and you guys, I didn't tell you, NeoGensisis and LightStim are double points items on our website this week. So I think it ends at the end of the week. So if you need to get your NeoGensisis things, your enzyme or your LightStim, shop this week because you're going to get double reward points. And that means you're going to get we have some really great things coming in our reward center for October, and you guys are going to want to know about those things. A sneak peek is that we're going to even have the skin wand. And I love using the skin wand with the NeoGensisis serum. So we will have that in the reward center next month. So you want to get your stuff, stock up now, get those double reward points so you can get those free gifts. But yes, so when that, so in regard to your question, should we consider your skin dry? We should consider it drier and provide some extra barrier protection. I really love NeoGensisis Intensive Moisturizer, and I love Barrier Renewal Cream. I use them both in my 60s. So I'm putting on Intensive Moisturizer because that's really feeding the skin. Then I'm putting on Barrier Renewal because that's protecting the skin from transepidermal water loss. So you ever notice that when you put on a moisturizer halfway through the day, your skin looks matte and kind of dry? Well, that's because you need something to prevent that transepidermal water loss. So that's why I layer those two, and that's why I have my nice shine on my skin. I can see it as I'm talking to you guys, glowing. So, but that's not always true if you have really large visible pores and your skin is really oily. If you know by noon you're going like this and you're an oil slick, you need to be using the right kind of moisturizer for your skin. And if you live in a really humid environment, here in California, we're in a very dry environment. That's why I need that barrier protection. But if you're in Texas or Florida or Charleston, South Carolina, you know you've got, or Kauai, you've got a lot of humidity in the air. You're going to need the appropriate moisturizer for a more humid environment. And that's when our skincare checkups come in really handy. So if you go to our skincare and you create an account, you can go to our reward center and you can do a skincare checkup. When you do a skincare checkup, we lovingly call those CHUPs. When you do a CHUP, you get to write down the products that you're currently using, whether they're from Art of Skincare or not. Write down the products you're using. Tell us a little bit about your skin, and then we'll help put those products into a routine for you and then give you a few tips. If, you know, a moisturizer we're looking at and we're going, that's really not right for them, we'll tell you, finish this up, but when you finish it, try a moisturizer like this one, or try this or that. And that way you can keep perfecting and improving your skin. So you can head over to our skincare, go to the Reward Center and fill out a skincare checkup. But you cannot do that unless you register for an account. So you'll have to register, create an account, and then you can go to the Reward Center and do that. Okay, any more questions?
Yes.
Let me check here. I think it might be time. It is. It is now time for me to put her on, push pause. I'm gonna put her back on erase. And I'm gonna push the timer for 5 minutes and push start. And you can see, I love this device because you can see how that bar is solid. That lets us know that it is conducting. So what we're doing here is we're conducting from her skin to the sheet mask. So this is on the sheet mask. It makes this sheet mask alive with the microcurrent, and then the patch on her chest is running the current through her body so that it's going from the mask into her body. So cool. It's just so cool. So she's getting a little bit dry. She's dry skin, so she's soaking it up. So I'm gonna put on a little bit of moisturizing mist just to get us through this last 5 minutes on Erase. Erase is the one that we use for fascia. I'll just say the right thing on her face. Glide gel. What did I do with my mist? Here it is. All right, Hannah, I'm gonna spritz your face, so you're gonna feel this coming down on you. Keep that nice moisture on there. There we go. All right, more questions?
Yes. So Joseph Anthony would like to know if you're able to mix the NeoGensisis enzyme cream mask with the volcanic ash mask, or how you would best use those.
Okay, so I would not mix them together because you're just going to dilute the enzymes. You want those enzymes to really do their thing. So normally you would do your enzyme first, and once you rinse that off, then put on your volcanic mask, and it'll be great that way because they just work hand in hand. You can use them on the same night. Some people who don't have that much time, they might alternate. So you'll be masking twice a week, but once a week will be the enzyme. The other day will be the volcanic ash. The volcanic ash is a wonderful antioxidant, anti-inflammatory. So what I'll have Hannah do, if we were doing this treatment on her at nighttime, I would actually, after we finish all this treatment, even after we put on her moisturizer, I would take the volcanic mask and I will spot treat and leave that on your skin all night. So she'll have some little gray spots where we put that on, but because it's so anti-inflammatory, it's amazing. If you have a blemish somewhere, just put a spot of that on before you go to bed, leave it on all night, and you'll be amazed how much you've reduced the redness and inflammation by the next day.
Beautiful. And Sarah says that sometimes her mild pink rosacea, which she's sure is menopausal induced.
Yes, everything's worse with menopause. If you have ADD, it's worse with menopause, I tell you.
She says that it sometimes looks like she's just wearing blush. So what would be the best exfoliating masks or serums for her?
For rosacea. So first of all, the mask that you'll want to use is from Rhonda Allison, and it's called Dermapeel. And Dermapeel, especially if you're one of those rosacea people that's just constantly dry and shedding, you can use that mask several times a week. So that's Rhonda Allison Dermapeel. You'll fall in love with that. When you go to rub it on, it feels kind of thick. You put it on dry skin. It feels kind of thick, and as you keep massaging gently, it becomes really watery, and then you feel it begin to roll skin cells and things off of the skin, but it's very gentle. It'll be perfect for you. Now, what I recommend for you to do is do a CHUP, go and do a check-in with us, because we would like to look at what are you using to cleanse, What other serums are you using, and how can we combine those so they're less inflammatory for your skin? Inflammation is one of the #1 causes of premature aging. So we want to use things on your skin that help reduce that inflammation. And sometimes it'll take a little experimenting as we work with you over the years to find just the right thing for you. And then sometimes it's even changing it seasonally. So a few things that come to my mind is the Hale and Hush Quiet Wash. That face wash instantly reduces redness. The Hale and Hush Sensitive Skin Serum, great for calming down that inflammation. Rhonda Allison's DNA Reversal, that's another great serum that really reduces redness and inflammation. Is there one I'm missing, Lauren?
See here.
Some people, it's so funny because some of our rosacea clients do really well on Hale and Hush, and some of them do really well on Rhonda Allison. So we kind of experiment usually as we're working with you and see which category you fall into. But my intuition tells me that you're probably a Hale and Hush candidate, and you can definitely do that free skincare check-in and we can let you know. Or if you would like to have more help where you get to email back and forth more with Lauren, have more interaction and support from her, you can do a healthy skin consultation. It's just $75 and you get 3 months of coaching.
4 months of coaching.
4 months of coaching with Lauren, and that can be a really nice thing to do. The Triwave is beeping. It's telling me it's all done, so I'm going to turn it off. But when you have a condition like that, it changes with the seasons, changes with the demographics, it changes with age, it changes with hormonal changes. So it's really nice to have an esthetician that works with you over time. We have many clients that we work with, that Lauren works with, I work with, that we've been working with for 10 years or more. And the way we do that is through our consultation program, where you get to fill out, answer a bunch of questions, send pictures to us, and then we start an email conversation, and we just keep working with you. Many of my clients, some will do it once a year, some will do it a couple times a year. They'll do that consultation so that we're just keeping up on how their skin's doing, and we make little changes as we go along. And then we have a really nice record. Nobody sees those photos unless you decide to let us show them to people, but we'll have in our vault where no one can see them, photos of you so we can see how your skin's doing, and we can really measure. If we make a little change, we can really measure, did that help or did that make it worse or just the same? And so that's a really nice way to work with us. Okay, I'm disengaging my electrodes. Take off my pad.
This one's a fun question.
Okay.
It says, so Sarah's asking, are exfoliating and enzyme masks the same thing?
They can be. An enzyme mask is an exfoliating mask, but an exfoliator is a much more broad term. So you could have a tool that exfoliates, such as the Dermadisc microdermabrasion, right, or the Skin Perfector. You can have scrubs that give you a manual exfoliation. You can have acids on the skin. In fact, the mandelic acid we put here, that's an exfoliating. We call them corrective serums, and it's doing a little exfoliation. So there's acid exfoliators, and there's enzyme exfoliators, manual exfoliators, and then some tools that we use that provide a manual exfoliation. Ooh, her skin looks so pretty. So I'm going to grab my LightStim and see if I can plug it in over here, if I can reach. Seeing if I can reach from the outlet. It's a little close. So I'm just now going to do my LightStim treatment on her. Now, LightStim can be used where you touch it right down on the skin, you hold it till it beeps, and then you go to the next spot. However, if you are hyperpigmentation prone like I am, you'll use it by holding it a little off the skin if I can show you guys, if you hold it just a little off the skin so you don't feel the heat from the infrared, and move it around. Don't just hold it in one spot for the full 3 minutes. But she does not get hyperpigmentation. Her skin is absolutely gorgeous and pure and milky. So I'm just going to touch it right down on her chin. We're just going to do this treatment until we hear a beep. So we're just going to do the chin area for 3 minutes. Then I'm going to put her moisturizer on and sunscreen. And I will show you guys how I spot treat with the volcanic ash mask. But I don't think she'll want to go to work with gray spots. That's more something you want to do before you go to bed. And really, she's got some red spots, but because she's got back on her Mandelic and back on her Acne Med, she has no pustules. She has no real inflamed pustules. It's all really progressing nicely in the healing process. But if she had a pustule, I would definitely just stick that volcanic mask right on that spot. Any other questions?
Not yet. No.
Not yet? Okay. Can you turn your head for me?
Yeah, of
This
course.
is her worst side over here. I just want to get a little more over on this side. So yeah, you guys, double rewards, NeoGensisis and LightStim. Great rewards coming next month that you're going to want to spend those points on. Remember to always check the reward center before you finish checking out. And I have good news. Sometime in the next month or so, when you're in checkout, you're going to actually see the rewards and see how many reward points you have so you can add them right there while you're in the cart. I just want to make that really easy for you guys so that you don't forget and you can take advantage of our rewards program. Get your free products.
And Kaylee wants to know that the Bion green tea clay poultice, that works well as a spot treatment too, right?
Absolutely. Green tea clay poultice. Don't put that on a blackhead because it's not good for a blackhead because it'll just glue it right down in there. But on an inflamed pimple or pustule, it's perfect. You could also do this with Face Reality's Soothing Clay Mask. You can spot treat with that. There was my beep. So we've had our full 3 minutes on there. I'm going to get her moisturizer, which is Barrier Renewal Cream. Oh, actually, well, if we hadn't done a facial and we ran a regular NeoGensisis skincare routine with her, we would put on her Mandelic serum and then we would spritz with the moisturizing mist to give her that hydration. However, we've done the yogurt mask. She has a ton of hydration in her skin. We don't need to hydrate with the mist today. So I'm just going to grab the Barrier Renewal Cream. This is going to prevent that transepidermal water loss, which we need in 107 degree Sacramento right now. It's very hot and dry.
And Joseph Anthony says that in reference to Barrier Renewal Cream, he uses it after microneedling, but he feels like a little stingling sensation. Is that normal?
Yeah, you should wait to apply that probably, about 10 hours, especially since you're such a good microneedler. You're nice and aggressive like I am. What you want to do instead is throughout the day, keep reapplying either some recovery serum, or if you're using the ampules from Anti-Age, the microneedling ampules, keep rolling that on your skin every 10 minutes or so. You can also spritz with isocell recovery solution, but you kind of want to wait about 10 hours before you put anything other than that on your skin. Now she does have one little inflamed spot over here, or two. So that's where I would put, if this was nighttime, I'll do it for a little while for today. Grab our volcanic ash mask. See the color? That's why you don't want to wear it out to the office. I'm just going to take a tiny bit and I'll just spot treat it on a couple little blemishes that she has. And we're just going to let that sit for today until we leave here. A few red spots here, but they're already down. They're already flat, so they're just in their healing process. And then we're going to use, how we would finish today is with some sunscreen. Since she's going back to work, be out and about, we're using the Clear SPF. This is our new favorite. It's a great price. It comes in clear or tinted, totally rubs in really well, and we're getting really good UVA and UVB protection with this product. UVA is that skin cancer causing, damage causing ray, and then UVB is your burning ray. So we want to make sure we're blocking both of those. Any more questions? Did I get all the questions?
Yes.
Did I answer them well?
So
Sometimes I get off on a tangent and I don't finish answering questions, so let me know if I did that.
well, that's how we learn. So would this volcanic ash mask be your favorite spot treatment for inflamed acne, or do you have other favorites that you would recommend?
You know, volcanic ash is my favorite, but I know other people, and Morgan can pipe in here. I know Celine will tell me that the Face Reality Soothing Clay is her favorite. And then I have other clients who tell me the green tea clay is their favorite. Now the green tea clay also has a little bit of salicylic acid in it, so that's why it's a little bit drying, and salicylic in that clay combination cannot be, can be too drying for a blackhead, and that's what causes it to get so glued and stuck in there because it's too dry. But if you don't have blackheads, but you've got some redness and inflammation, that green tea clay poultice is excellent for handling the hormones, for preventing hyperpigmentation or post-inflammatory pigmentation. So green tea clay poultice, you asked me a tough question. If I had to choose one,
I say they all have their different
I
merits
know,
for
they're all
skin
different.
types.
They're all different. It depends on the degree of breakouts. If you're really dry skinned, yes, the volcanic ash, amazing. Probably if you're a little oilier skin, a little more inflamed, maybe green tea clay poultice. And then in between there is that Face Reality one. But you know, we have a long life ahead of us, so start with one, see how you like it. Then the next time, try the next one. And that way you get some variety in your routine. So we've got her sunscreen on, but I didn't do her chest and neck. Let's do that.
And now this is a little off topic, but relative to acne scarring, Raina is curious if we'll ever carry the coarse disc for indented acne scarring. How would you address indented acne scarring?
Microdermabrasion usually isn't the best for indented acne scarring. That's where you want to use your micro needling. So you'd want to use our MTS micro needle roller. You don't want to on yourself use a roller larger than that. I've seen people scar themselves by using a 1 or even a 2 on their skin. But the MTS is just right, especially if you're nice and aggressive with it, like Joseph and I am. That and vitamin A or retinol are going to be better for those divots than using the microdermabrasion. But that said, if you've got kind of you'll have a divot, but sometimes it has like a crater on there where there's some rough, like a rough skin layer around that makes it more crater rather than dimple. The needle will work with either one of those, but some microdermabrasion can help with that when you have more of that crater around the edge of that dimpled spot. We do have the coarse disc. We sell it for the body, and that's how we recommend it. It can be used for the face, and estheticians do use our Dermadisc, and they do use that coarse one for the face. You need to be careful and not, create sores and dig into your skin too much. I'm always really cautious with a lay person using that course of a product on their face. You want to be careful. You don't want to scar yourself. You don't want to overdo it. You want to just do a little bit at a time. Be gentle with it. It's the same problem we have with the micro needling. If you get too large of a needle, you're going to damage your skin, and you're going to see scarring from that, and even sometimes some permanent pitting from from microneedling with too large a needle. So it's always best to have some help with that kind of thing. But we do have those discs available. Have we got them on the website yet, Lauren?
I can double check on that one.
I know that we're in the process of getting them on. They probably are being photographed or something, so they're not quite on the site yet. But you can reach out to MJ. She's on live chat right now. She's our esthetician. Our other esthetician, I don't know if you guys have met her yet. She's fabulous. And she can take your email address and she can email you when the course disc is for sale on the website. Oh, her skin looks so pretty. You guys, look at these little spots. This side is like pristine, perfect. And then we have spots. But we'll take those spots off before we send her back to the office today.
Thank you.
But it's wonderful to sleep in. It's really dry already on there. And it's good stuff. Good stuff. Are we done? We did our questions. We went overtime today, you guys. Thanks for hanging in there and playing with us. That's it for today. We've had a wonderful treatment with Hannah. Be sure to go take advantage of your double points on your NeoGensisis products and get yourself a LightStim and have a good weekend. And we'll see you back here again next week. Take care. Figure out.